Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to this webinar. So my name is Helena Djorkovic. I'm the CEO of ERA, which is the Educational Recording Agency. We're the body of TV and radio programmes for teaching and learning. Almost every school in the UK has an ERA licence, so you don't have to, as teachers, you don't have to worry about whether you're licensed. The Department for Education takes out a group licence for all maintained schools in England, and elsewhere in the UK, the fee for state schools is covered by most local authorities. If you're from an independent school, you're also in all likelihood covered by a licence, because overall 99.9% of all schools have an ERA licence. But you can always check if you want on the ERA website, which is era.org.uk. At ERA, we champion the value that broadcast media can bring to teaching and learning. That's why when Dave Millington, who is going to be our main speaker today, when he approached us, this fantastic idea for natural curriculum back in 2019, we immediately saw its potential and wanted to support it, because it really shows the value of using broadcast recordings to inspire and engage children. So we manage the Natural Curriculum website while Dave focuses on coming up with all his amazing ideas for developing the site and creating his wonderful lesson plans. We started with grammar lessons, but more recently moved into problem-solving maths. And we were really thrilled when Enrich said they were keen to work with us and bring their expertise to bear in helping shape our maths lessons. Ems Lord and Liz Woodham, who you've just heard from, are here from Enrich today. You'll hear from both of them later during today's webinar, which they very kindly organised for us. You'll also hear from my colleague, Joshua Marks, who looks after all of ERA's educational resource offerings, so works very closely with Dave and Ems and Liz. But first I'm going to introduce Dave, who, at the same time as working full-time as a teacher, dedicates a huge amount of his own time developing lesson plans for the natural curriculum and ensuring its success. I hope everybody gains something from today's webinar and enjoys using the natural curriculum with their classes. We'd love to hear from you, hear your thoughts. But anyway, over to Dave.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to this webinar. As Helena said, I'm Dave Millington. I'm a Year 6 class teacher. I'm currently sat in my classroom right now. My Year 6 class, I just said farewell to them about 20 minutes ago. I'm kind of partly expecting the Hoover to arrive in the classroom very shortly. So if you hear a funny noise, that will be the Hoover. But I have put a please don't disturb on the door, so hopefully that won't happen in the next 40 minutes or so. Well, the purpose of this webinar is twofold. Firstly, we're hoping that at the end of this session, you'll be itching to kind of carry out some of these lessons that we're going to describe for you with your classes. And secondly, you might just want to get involved, and we'd love to hear from you, and we'll explain how you could be a contributor and help build the resources that already exist on the site. How did I come up with a natural curriculum concept? Well, I've been teaching for 23 years, and I think I can't remember how many hundreds of clips I've shown from the BBC Natural History Archive to my children. But I can honestly say in all of that time, there hasn't been a single child that hasn't been captivated, enthralled, intrigued by those clips, whether it's a pebble toad bouncing down the side of a cliff, or whether it's a squirrel kind of foraging for acorns and storing them away. They are all amazing clips, and the children just absolutely love them. And I think we all agree that perhaps the most important part of any lesson is that kind of drawing the children in, getting them interested, excited by what's to come. And that's what the BBC Archive does. And so as soon as it became ready or available online, that's when the idea really kind of gained momentum for me. And secondly, I just genuinely believe that as a primary educator, and I think we all would agree, we have a huge responsibility to help children at every single opportunity to increase their knowledge of the natural world, to increase their understanding of the natural world, to excite them by it. And of course, I remember David Attenborough saying once that it's only then that children are going to want to and understand how to safeguard it for future generations. So for those two reasons, the natural curriculum seemed a bit of a no-brainer for me.